Welcome back to Mr. Biegalski's English class.
Hi guys, welcome back. So today we are starting the class for good. So we're actually starting the term work we would have done had this whole thing not happened. So what we're going to do is start the drama unit. It's still going to focus on crime and punishment, which is what we've been studying up till now. And we are going to study the play 12 Angry Men, which is a very famous play written by Reginald Rose in the 1940s. That play is now available as public domain because it's more than 70 years old. It's actually available for free for us to access online. So I will post a link of the PDF of that play in Google Classroom, and you guys can access it there. Oh, my cat's attacking me here as I'm trying to teach. This is Letty. She helps me mark your stuff. She's a pretty hard marker, so you better stay on her good side. Anyways, so back to 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men is the story of a group of 12 jurors who are sitting in a jury room trying to decide whether a young man is guilty or not guilty of murder. And they're trying to decide whether to convict this kid who is accused of killing his father. I'm not going to give you any more details of the play right now. We'll get to those in due time. But the play deals with the legal system. And in order for you to understand the play, you have to understand how the legal system works, what a jury is, how a jury trial works, and basically all of those details. And so today I'm going to give you a bunch of those details in this lesson, and hopefully that'll clear it up for you and give you enough information so that when you read the play you'll understand exactly what's happening. So we're going to go over how a trial by jury works. This will go by fairly quickly, so because it's a video you have the luxury of stopping, pausing, and rewinding certain things. If this is going too fast for you, rewind it, listen to it again, and hopefully you'll pick up some things the second time around you haven't picked up the first time around. If there's something you don't understand, contact me after you finish watching the video and I'll answer any questions for you guys. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the North American justice system, and in particular the jury system, so that you guys can understand what's going on in 12 Angry Men, which is basically a story of a jury deliberation. So the first thing that happens in the American and Canadian criminal system is that a crime is committed. The first part of the criminal justice system that gets involved is the police. The police investigate the crime, they gather some evidence, they find some suspects, and once they're satisfied that they've gathered enough evidence and that they're pretty sure they have the right suspect, the person suspected of committing the crime, then they arrest the suspect. And then that suspect goes to jail. Now, there's a difference between jail and prison. A lot of people confuse these two things. So jail is where you're held until your trial. Prison is where you're held after you've been found guilty of a crime. So prison, of course, is more serious than jail. When a suspect is arrested, they go to jail and they may have the option to post bail. If the judge thinks that this suspect is going to run away and never show up for their trial, then the judge will just keep them in jail. If the judge thinks that the suspect is trustworthy and will show up for their trial, the judge can give the suspect an option to post bail, which means that the suspect pays a bunch of money and then goes home and then comes back for the trial and gets that money back when they show up back at the trial. So a trial can be held by judge or jury. Today we're just going to focus on the jury part because that's what the play is about. So a jury consists of 12 people, and these 12 people are chosen usually from the voting lists in the community. So these are 12 random people chosen from the voting list. There are 2 lawyers involved in the trial. In the United States, the first type of lawyer would be called a district attorney. In Canada, a crown attorney. This is the attorney trying to convict the suspect of a crime. So this is the attorney who is trying to get the jury to vote guilty. The defense attorney represents the suspect, the person who is on trial, and they are trying to get the jury to vote not guilty, obviously. Now, voting not guilty does not mean that you think the person is innocent. Not guilty just means that you have doubts about whether they are guilty or not. Okay, so if you are a juror and you're sitting there, you're listening to the evidence,
and you think, well, this person might be guilty, but I have a reasonable doubt, well, then you have to vote not guilty. You can only vote guilty if you are reasonably sure that the defendant committed the crime. When in movies and in TV shows they say guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, that's what that means, that a reasonable person will be fairly sure, pretty sure that this person committed the crime, and then they can vote guilty. If they're not sure, if they have doubts, then they have to vote not guilty. Now, in a trial, all 12 jurors have to agree in order for the verdict to count. If the jurors cannot be persuaded to all vote on the same side and cannot agree, then the jury is going to be hung and the trial is basically over. The trial ends without a resolution. In this case, the district attorney in the States or the crown attorney in Canada has the option of running the trial again, basically running a whole new trial, choosing a new jury and conducting the trial a second time to try to convict the defendant. This is particularly important in 12 Angry Men because the 12 jurors here are aware that if they don't come to a decision, that there will probably be another trial held and another 12 jurors will see the same trial again. So if the verdict is not guilty, the defendant goes free and can never be tried again for this same crime. Trying someone for the same crime twice in our society is called double jeopardy, and our legal system is not allowed to do that. So this is why the district attorney or the crown attorney has to be absolutely sure when they go to trial that they have all of the evidence they need to convict a person. Because if they try somebody and that person is found not guilty, and then new evidence comes out, even if it's a cell phone recording of this person committing the crime, that person cannot be tried again for that crime. If the jury finds the defendant guilty, then there's a sentencing hearing. And basically the punishment, the sentence of that defendant is then decided on. It can be decided on by a judge or by a jury. Depending on how serious the crime is, the sentence could be anything from probation or community service to prison time. And in some states, in the United States that have the death penalty, the person can be sentenced to death as well.
So hopefully that was clear. If not, rewatch it again. And if it's not clear after you've watched it a second time, drop me an email and ask me any questions that you might have, and I'll get back to you on that as soon as possible. Now, there is one assignment that I'm going to assign you guys over the next couple of days, and that is a short paragraph. You're going to have 2 days to do it. It's only about half a page paragraph, so it shouldn't take you that long to do it, but it will be due on Thursday, and that's April the 16th, I believe. The paragraph, I'm going to put it in Google Classroom. It's basically a response to the YouTube video that I'm posting. So I'm going to post a YouTube video about the death penalty and various people's opinions on whether a country should have the death penalty. Canada does not. In the United States, some states still have it. Many countries around the world still have it. Many countries have banned it. There's a very vigorous debate about whether the death penalty should be legal around the world or not. I want you guys to offer your opinion. Give me 2 reasons why you are for or against the death penalty. Only pick one side. Do not argue both sides of the issue. Pick one side. Give me 2 reasons why. Explain them fully, as always, in a paragraph, and finish up the paragraph. So the paragraph should look like this. Introduction, 2 reasons why with full explanations, and a conclusion at the end. I'll leave it off right there, guys, and set you guys off on your task. We will be starting 12 Angry Men on Thursday, so be ready for that. Look for the lesson coming up on that on Thursday. In 2 days, work on that paragraph. Plenty of time to get it done. It's the 2 days you're at home. I know you've got other work, but it's definitely something that you can get done quickly. About half a page to 2/3 of a page should be about the length of your paragraph. Type it up, share it with me on my Google Drive, and you'll be done. And on Thursday, we'll start on the play. Okay? So I'll leave you with that. Good luck. And if you have any questions, contact me over email, and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Okay? Bye, guys.
Biegalski's English class.